A lot of people think wokeism is going to lead them to some better life in their notion. They think it's going to lead to social justice. They think there's going to be equity. They think everyone is going to be living better. They think that it's going to make the nirvana, I don't know, what, paradise on earth, whatever it means. But anyway, guys, the problem is the architects of wokeism got something else in mind. This has been orchestrated by big players with big money. And, whether you like it or not, there's a lot of people involved in it, whether it's Billy Goat Gates or the House of Klaus Schwab. He's retiring now, but he's played a big role in this. And his wet whiff, what do you want to call that, organization, the Forum of Economic World, backwards. And I'm being careful what I say here, guys. But the situation is, it's about control. You got to remember, David Rockefeller and Klaus Schwab both had the same kind of assessment about China. And a lot of you really don't know what China's all about either. Maybe you would think the same thing. They go over there and they've looked at the social credit system and all the cameras and the controls they got on the people, and they thought that was just fine and dandy. They thought that was great. In fact, they said this is the way society needs to be. This is how mankind needs to be run in the future. This is the model, the perfect model for human society. That's what both of them have been telling us. And so, guys, this is not the kind of picture you want to see, because what it is, it's a model for you being an ant. It's you being part of the Borg. You would be into the Hive, because we're going into an age where there's going to be brain-computer interfaces. And that's a big favorite topic. Also, the Forum Economic of the World, again said backwards. That is one of their favorite. They've talked about that. Klaus Schwab has talked about that, and so has some of his minions over there before, Klaus stepped down theoretically. So they're talking about brain-computer interfaces. Well, you got to remember, one of their minions put out that big video, which was posted on their website as an example. An article is written about it as an example of what the future would be like in 2030 or whenever they thought. You would own nothing. You will have no privacy, but you'll be happy. Oh yeah, you'll be happy. If you're deemed worthy to live in their system, you might be happy. Yeah, if you're a brain-numbed robot. Because essentially, what they're talking about here is, think about this. If you've got this brain-computer interface, it could be a great and wonderful thing. If you had control on it and there was no back door, but look at all the software. Show me what software, what computers today don't have a back door where they can't get in there. Look at Microsoft. Do you think that they would have a back door if you got a brain-computer interface, that they have a back door to your brain? Would they? Yeah, I would think that's high likelihood. That's what they really probably want more than anything, to be able to get in and actually know what you're thinking, know what you're feeling. You'll have no privacy. Remember that part? No privacy. You'll own nothing. But they'll stimulate your brain with a little artificial whatever, so you're going to be happy no matter what happens. If some crocodile is chewing your legs off, you're going to be happy. They're chewing your legs off, whatever, and you're going to eat bugs and be happy with that. So that's, that's the kind of future they want you to have while they're flying around in jets and eating caviar. See, it's going to be a caste system, a two-tier system. You think there's going to be equality. That's what you're pushing for. Well, these are the guys that are funding a lot of the push. These are the guys who want to be in charge of this dystopian mess. Yeah, we've seen 4 visions of this in some of your science fiction movies, the bifurcated societies in the future where there's an upper crust that's got everything, and everybody else is just some low-level workers. What was that movie? Oz, I can't think of it. But anyway, it'll come to me later that Sean Connery played in a crazy movie, future dystopian movie. Turned out it was based on a book that come from Wizard of Oz or something like that, the title of it, but that wasn't, they called it something else. And my cat's coming down. My cat don't want to bring computer interface. He's sneaking up on me. There he is. Yeah, that's Freddy Cat. all the way from Alabama. Y'all might remember him following me around in the woods in Alabama. Old Freddy Cat. There he is. Anyway, so this is what I worry about, guys, is we got to be concerned about what kind of future we got coming here. They make it all sound good. Oh, there comes the other little kitty. We're not alone here. Freddy Cat and I are not alone. Here comes Rastus. This is Rat Force 1, and we got Rat Force 2 approach. That's Smokey the cat, Rat Force 2. Yep, Smokey the cat, Rat Force 2. Both here with me. And got a mouth open like a little lion. He's hunting something to eat. Somebody to attack. Anyway, so there we have it. Cat is all over me here. So then again, brain-computer interface. Again, I'm trying to be so cute out here. Oh, you missed it. There we go. Brain-computer interfaces, guys. You know, what we're talking about is the Borg. Just to be honest, just to break it down, the Hive. They want to create a hive mind society for everybody that's not in the upper crust. And a lot of people thinking that they're going to have a better life. You don't have a life. You may not even have a consciousness that when they get done with you. You may just be a physical robot if you're deemed desirable to them to keep around. You may not even have a conscious mind left. They'll eventually rob you of everything. One little step at a time, like boiling frogs. You won't see it coming. They're going to sell you on how great it's going to be. How wonderful it's going to be. Oh, you'll be in the Matrix, but you can eat steaks all day long in the Matrix. They're fake steaks, but you won't know the difference until they get tired of running the algorithms and they got you sucked in where you can't get out, and then you ain't going to have jack diddle. And they might keep your life support on if your biological systems can drive some memory processing or energy system or something they got like in the movie The Matrix. Otherwise, they'll just switch you off because you'll be a useless eater. Oh yeah, remember that term, useless eaters? That's where you're heading, useless eaters. What good will you be unless you can entertain these uber rich? But it's going to be hard to entertain because they're going to get bored real fast. Yeah, they'll reach a point that they can't even stand life. They'll be so bored. There'll be nothing to satisfy them at some point in the time. That's where they're heading. It's a dystopian future. We don't need it. But that's where all this leads, to be quite honest. This collectivism, wokeism, you know, take your property awayism, you know, you'll own nothing. So that's why they're going after farmers in so many different ways, because farmers are one of your last bastions of independence, one of the last groups of people that can stand on their own 2 feet. They're not going to like preppers. They're not going to like gardeners. They're not going to like homesteaders. They're not going to like kitty cats roaming around independently, right? Like these guys. Is this guy going to try to jump this one? He is debating. Nah, he's decided it ain't worth it. You know he thought about it. Cats can be funny. Yeah, maybe it's a new opportunity. What's he going to do here? Here we go. Is he going to jump? Oh, he saw him. Cats, funny critters. Anyway, so there you have it, my friends. It really boils down to collectivism, but not just collectivism, to a hive mind, to being part of the Borg, to being an ant, to probably no longer even being you. You'll be nobody. You'll have no privacy, no property, and no emotions. Eventually there'll be no point in being happy because that's just an emotion they can't afford. There'll be nothing because you won't even be you. You want to be aware of being alive probably. I think that's where it's heading. That's why you don't want to go down that road. That's why we need to resist it. Because you know who's in charge? I don't think they got any love for us, my friends. I don't see any love for us at all in this system. So, I don't know if you can see what I'm seeing or not, but anyway, I'm petting kitty cat here. So, there we go, my friends. So I was sitting down in this draw here because it was kind of windy, and I got behind this juniper here to kind of knock some of the wind off. This was a pretty good place to sit and knock the wind off, so I'll stand up now, just walk for a minute. We'll take the chance of getting some wind on us and making a lot of racket in the microphone if I can get up. A little better view where I'm at. The beauty, Mama Nature. The beauty of this location. Raw, rustic, wilderness beauty. This is on the back side of my property, on the one side of it. I don't know if it's really the back side or the front side or what. Just one side of it. Yeah, property. I said that right. Think about it. You got no property, they might not even allow you to come out to places like this. We don't want you out and seeing things. We don't want you to be part of this. We're going to put you in a capsule. Big critter up through here. We're going to put you in a pod. We're going to jack you up. You will know no reality. You will have nothing, no privacy, and no reality. How about that? These rocks, they're pretty. No reality. Now that purple rock, that's kind of interesting. Purple rock. Purple rocks, a purple rain. I don't know. What do y'all think, guys? You tell me in the chat room, or the notes below, not chat room, the notes below. Where do you think this will lead? I've got a lot of people, when I post stuff on Facebook, they get mad at me. They argue with me. They get real mad about me not supporting wokeism. They think it's justice. Here's the other thing to bear in mind. Oh, look at that. We got a prickly pear up here. Something blown up against it. You know, the wind here blows everything around. Prickly pear. There's some survival food. So, economy ain't gonna be worth the crap because all socialist economies fail. Everybody, oh, Europe does good. No, they don't. Europe's abandoning socialism. But you got to remember too, Europe hasn't paid fully from their defense, and a lot of their industry subsidized because they put big tariffs on the United States. But their whole system's falling apart too. So if you think Europe's a model, no. But all the communist countries, people are fleeing left and right, everywhere. A lot of people favor communism. Some of the people that have chastised me on some of my posts on Facebook, I go look at their website and I saw one that had a commie flag on there and they was praising Lenin. Okay, we know where you're coming from, buddy. Well, I've been to Red Square in Russia. I've even been next to, I didn't go in Lenin's tomb, but I've been next to it. I don't know where it is. Been there. I didn't want to spend all the time waiting in line. But I have seen Lenin's tomb. Got no great desire to sit. I did not admire the man at all. He was a murderer. Just like people that followed him, like Stalin. I've been to the door of Stalin's apartment in the Sovietsky Hotel in Moscow. Just chilling. See, guys, these people do their own people in by the tens of millions. Think about Pol Pot. Maybe 60 million people from Stalin. 80 million from Mao Zedong. Pol Pot, what, a third of his country? Half his country? How many? Horrible. Horrible. Oh yeah, but these people are not social. Oh, give me a break. You know, you come with any excuse you want to justify your means, which makes you, if you follow that, you're wicked. If you follow that, you subscribe to that notion, it's okay to add off a major portion of a population to promote the agenda of socialism and communism, you're just pure evil. You're evil. You need to get a heart. You need to rethink yourself. You think you're being for justice. Now see, I'm out here trying to reach out to people who don't see things my way. I'm here trying to get you to see another way. But you guys just want to exterminate. See, there's a big difference. It's a difference in the heart and soul. Here's another thing I've noticed. A lot of the people in the liberal woke media side, they attack people. Oh, they got to say something about your mother, something really nasty. I don't know your mother from Jack Diddle. What's this prove? It proves the evil, the darkness of their heart. That's what it proves. You know, they're doing themselves disservice and showing the nature of their soul when they do that. They're showing you who they really are. They're wicked, internal, nasty souls. That's what I want you to know, folks. All right. One more little hole I'll show you here. And I guess we're going to call it a video. I first saw this place here. I bought my property sight unseen. I could see this from there's a raven flying. We have crows out here and we have ravens. They're a different bird. I saw this spot from the satellite photographs taken from sky where we got here. Oh, what is this spot? I'm always intrigued to find it. Well, so I bought this place sight unseen. Not this morning. Not at all. So, big old tree there. Alright, so you've had a walk and a talk with me and the cats like I used to in Alabama in the forest, talking about some wisdom topic. So I hope this is something y'all like. A chance to share nature. These aren't big, tall, 100-foot tall pine trees, but it's still beautiful out here. Tell me it's not just gorgeous. Cats think so. You gonna jump? What are you going to do? You jumping? Yeah, he's thinking, yeah, I don't know what he's going to do tonight. Yeah, he's going to do it. Silly cat. Anyway. Stuff's blooming. Maybe we'll have some honeybees here soon. These blooms. Oh yeah. My first summer out here, I saw things flowered and bloomed everywhere. Tons of blooms. Tons of flowers. I might see that again this year. I don't know. These flowers blooming up here. Another wash over here. A little area here between my washes. Back in here. Some beautiful little rocks that tumble by water a lot. Rocks all over the place. This used to be a beach. Long ago. Beach sand, tumble rocks, whole 9 yards. Sandstone. So here's another little wash. A little waterfall area right here. Cow poop. Dog tracks or coyote tracks. There's a wolf around here somewhere. Few. Howdy folks. I'm going to say thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the walk and talk and the discussion of the bankruptcy of wokeism. You know, it robs the incentive to produce from people, and that's why societies that are under socialism wind up being broke and just falling apart. That's what happens. The incentive to produce is taken away, and so societies just crumble. Anyway, thank y'all for watching, and the kitty cat thanks y'all. So, Greg out.